Is she settling?
You could be a 10, but with no confidence, I'm not even looking at.
Come pick up my laundry. We didn't live together. She would come pick up my laundry. Would you date you? Would you date you? Would you actually deal with yourself?
Hey y'all, welcome back to Through with a Splash of Tea, a podcast where we either speak to brilliant people, do this thing one-on-one, or have best friend chats with my best friend T. I'm your host, Cass, and let's get right into it. So today for our Thursday segment, I know that you guys are typically used to seeing T, but like I've told you guys before, T's on maternity leave. So I decided to bring back Rudy Cantave.
Thanks for having me back.
Of course. I'm sure almost everyone probably remembers you because I don't know why, but my audience loves you. Okay. So people love you. I
love them too.
So we're very happy to have you back. Okay. And Rudy, I'm going to ask you, because I love to ask my guests this. What are we going to talk about today?
We are going to talk about dating.
Yes.
The dating scene.
Everything to do with dating.
Yes. Perspectives on dating.
Yes. Okay, so a little background, super, super quick for people that don't know you, aren't like whatever, haven't seen your interview yet. Rudy is currently married, so you've been tied down, locked down since 2008. So you have the perspective of a husband and a father.
Yes.
But prior to being married, you were out in these streets being wild.
Running them.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And then me, I am not married. I'm very much single, have been single for a very long time. My last relationship was like 4 years ago-ish. And since then, I've just been out in these streets, not being wild, just poised, being, classy in these streets. But both of us do have networks of friends that are both married, single, all that jazz. So we get a lot of different perspectives. Mm-hmm. So we're going to dive right into it. Okay. So a lot of women view that the male dating pool has changed drastically.
Yes. The
male isn't who the male used to be. And one, I want to know whether you think that is true or false. Do you think men have become less, I'm going to call a spade, less manly, less of a 90s man. Do you feel like that has shifted for males? And then if that is the case, I want you to dive into it. What do you think?
When you're saying manly, what is your definition of manly?
When I say manly, I know that's so I shouldn't say that without defining it. That's so nice. When I say manly, I think what do we think as women? We think that the male pool has become less focused on being a protector, provider, and more of somebody that wants you to provide and sometimes provide protection as a woman, and that's oftentimes strange. Like, we don't know how to receive that. Mm-hmm. So do you think the male pool has shifted closer to that from the 90s, early 2000s? Or what do you think?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, I can see it from that way, but I can also see it in the way as women are far more independent. So for a woman who says they need a man to do this, women were far less independent in the 70s, in the 80s, and in the 90s.
So do you think both are true, or do you think
I would say there's a cause and there's an effect to it. So men seem to sometimes want a traditional woman, but you can't have a traditional woman when she's so much more independent than she used to be. Vice versa with a woman, you can't ask so much more for a man to provide and to protect more when you have a lot of more of your independence. So, I see male and female, they're almost on equal footing now. So I think that's the, people are chasing nostalgia a lot, and they're not adapting to the new norms of relationships. That's something that I see.
That's a bar. What?
'Cause I got bars.
That's a bar. People are chasing nostalgia a lot.
Yeah.
And they're not adapting to the new relationships.
Like I see women all the time. Well, my dad did this for my mom, and my mom, yeah, it's a different time.
Okay.
It's a different time.
It is a different time, Rudy.
And vice versa with men. I'll see a lot of men who say, "Well, she needs to cook, she needs to clean, she needs to do this." Guess what? You can do it too.
That's true.
I think the gender roles are a lot more blended now, but people, they hold on to that, the past, that nostalgia, and it just, you gotta evolve or die.
Because that's in everything. That's what they know. Like if you grew up seeing this on TV within your household, so that's like what you chase, what you want. But you're right, times do evolve, and generations do change and shift and evolve and become more free and become more just different and you know.
Yeah, I mean, if that traditional relationship is what you're chasing, male or female, I have no problem with that. But your time's gonna be tougher trying to find that person.
Okay, but there's so much. So you don't think that you were chasing tradition when seeking for a wife?
Not really. No, I don't. I don't think. No, I don't think so.
No.
I wouldn't say I chase tradition a lot. No, I think I chased what made me happy. I guess. I don't know. There's probably some traditional things. Yeah, there's some little tiny things that I didn't let aside, but I was open to evolve.
You're okay with that?
Yeah, I was okay.
I feel like, because I'm very much like, I like the traditional, but I like the traditional because I feel like it creates like, I need walls. I need to know, like, what I'm doing here. So, like, if I'm entering a relationship, like,
yes.
If you're the man, like, I'm letting you know that I need to feel protected. I need to feel like if I'm outside, anything goes down, you can protect me. Like, that's something you know.
Well, I think that's different. I mean, I wouldn't say that role. Obviously, I feel I have that. That's not,
okay,
I think sorry. No, but I'm saying I think most men should. Obviously, a man's gonna be physically superior to a woman 90% of the time, so you should protect a woman in that way.
But what if some it's different now? What if some women are like, no, I don't need a man to. Some women are like that, but like, okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like for me, it's the traditional. It's easy walls. It's easy rules for me to be like, oh, okay, I'll just walk by those rules. But if you're not chasing tradition, which I know that I am, if you're not chasing tradition because you're super creative, like you're open to a lot. How did you create the boundaries that, okay, like I want my wife to be this, if it's just.
I would more so say I let her, I mean, she has her traditions that she has. I mean, I think you just look in that person and see what they have, and if you're okay with it, then you're okay with it. I don't know if I'm really explaining this correctly.
Not necessarily I want my wife to be this, but I want to start talking to somebody that I enjoy and then see if I am okay with the rest.
You figure that out from dating.
So it's just like
you figure it out from dating. Dating is a trial and error game as well. So that's how you figure it out. I mean, there's I remember there's people I dated who were super traditional, but then I'm like, that's not for me. I couldn't be in a super traditional relationship.
Super traditional, like how, like they have to cook and clean as the wife, and then you have to.
She cooked. She cleaned. She would come pick up my laundry. We didn't live together. She would come pick up my laundry, do my laundry, clean my house, and I was just like,
You had a girl picking up your laundry and doing your laundry?
Yeah, I did.
Oh wow, girls, y'all are doing that? That's not I'm single. I'm not picking up laundry is crazy.
She was very traditional.
Oh dang, maybe I'm not traditional enough then.
She was super traditional.
And
for me, it was a bit boring. It was a bit boring, so that didn't work out.
You were like, I can't do this anymore. No, what did she expect of you? You had to pay for, you guys didn't live together, so what?
No, we didn't live together. We didn't pay for. I mean, most of the time we went out, I paid for stuff, but she would pay for stuff every once in a while as well. It wasn't like a big deal for her, but.
Rudy, you had this girl catering to you, but you were bored.
Yeah, it was boring.
Yeah.
Dang. I need spice.
Shawty gives you that spice?
I need that hippies. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we're going to dive into the age-old question because we have to talk about it. Rudy, who pays all the bills in a household?
That's for the household to decide.
What?
That is for your household to decide. There's people who are going to say men. There's people who are going to say men. Absolutely. Well, I'm sorry, people. The majority of women are going to say men. But I just don't believe in that. It depends on your household. You can be, for example, you can be, let's just say you get into a relationship with a man. You both go to college together, right? Mm-hmm. You fall in love, you're in college, you get out of college, you're on the same equal footing. You know, the husband gets a job right out of school, let's say he's making $150,000, but then his wife gets a job, she's making $500,000. 10 years down later, should she break up with him? No. Is she settling?
No, because they fell in love prior.
So what?
The love's still there.
There was love that was there, but everybody bases that. So when you're out there searching for something and putting a characteristic on it, you know, you're putting yourself into a box. And I'm not saying go out there and date anybody.
You hate my boxes. Just say it.
But you're shrinking your circumference of possibilities. That's what's happening when you do that.
Rudy, there needs to be...
Of course, there's always... I'm not
walls.
saying...
You have walls too. You were like, I know I need to be a provider. So these
yes, of course, you know. Okay. Of course, I want to provide. Of course, I want to provide. But I'm not saying like... But what's... For example, I know a house husband.
Okay.
His wife is perfectly fine with that.
Okay.
He's fine with that.
Yeah.
What's the big deal? A lot of people will be like, "Oh my gosh, there's something wrong with that." That's their family. That's their choice. That's what I believe in. They're happy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I
agree that I think that a lot of people will be like, "Oh my God," the things that people are shocked about, like, "Oh my God," like he wants you to help on the bills and all that stuff. They're shocked about it because of what they have seen growing up, like what they know.
Absolutely.
It's hard for people to change. So I don't fault them for that, but you can't have a closed mind and just keep that closed mind forever.
No.
You have to try and change. It has to be like something.
Absolutely.
But you know me. I need to know some things in black and white. Like I need to know what I need to walk in with a clipboard. Like, okay, these are my check boxes. Do you check?
What are your check boxes?
No, we're not.
No, you're not going there? You're not going
we're
there?
not.
Okay.
He just literally probably just has to like make what I make. Literally just be a male version of Cassandra. It's honestly nothing crazy. Be a male version of Cassandra and that's pretty much it.
Would you date you? Would you date you? Would you actually deal with yourself? Because when people always say that, oh, I want a male, female version of myself. No, you don't.
Excuse me.
You do not want to deal with you. No.
What?
Contrast is good. You don't want somebody exactly like you.
You wouldn't date you?
No. I get on my nerves. I talk too much. I'd be like, yo, be quiet. My wife's always telling me to be quiet.
Oh my gosh. You think when I settle down, when you meet my husband, he's going to be the opposite of me?
Yeah.
Corny?
You don't know. See, there's a certain thing. See, that's something that attracts you to something. It's not, so obviously that means you want somebody who has a good personality and, not a cornball. But what I'm saying is you could try something different. He might not be exactly like you, have certain traits that you have. Obviously, you want to share similar interests, but you can have different interests.
Yeah.
My neighbor growing up, it was funny, and I always tell people this when we talk about similar interests. He was Muslim, she was Christian.
They fell in love?
Yeah, they got married. They were my neighbors growing up. Yeah, they got married, had 2 kids. They were my neighbors, and I used to ask them like, how did your parents, how did your families get along? They're like, they just got fine. He went to the mosque, she went to church. They were happy with it, and they said, let their kids decide.
Shut up.
Let their kids decide what they want to do and how they want to, what religion they want to practice when they grow up.
I love that, but that's so difficult.
That's an anomaly.
2 religions in one household?
That's an anomaly. But they did. Then they said they'll just raise their kids, let their kids choose when they grow up.
I love that. Because that goes to show you that they don't overcomplicate things.
Nope.
They don't, they literally will try to uncomplicate things. Because everyone will be like, how do they do holidays? What do they feed their kids? Don't mess around. They literally try to Oh my gosh. Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah, it can. So, I mean, they had similarities that they got married, but they had one big difference, and they just chose not. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but that also kind of scares me because I am a believer that you can find love anywhere in anyone.
Yes.
But I really want my husband to be Haitian.
Why?
What do you mean why?
I mean, why? What is?
Why did you say why like that?
Because say why? Why do you want your husband to be Haitian?
What do you mean why? So we can share the same culture. So when somebody makes a joke, or when someone's speaking Creole, or when a Haitian classic comes on, he knows, he gets the vibes.
They would learn. Sade knows. Well, she knows all that. Obviously, everybody knows all the Haitian swears.
Yeah, that's.
But there's music she likes. There's food she loves. Don't let Sade see some akara. Let me tell you something. She'll tear that shit up. There's food she loves. She loves culture. She knows songs. She knows things because when you're immersed in it enough, you
adapt to
you're
it.
taking a lot of it.
Do you think it was easy for her to? I should have had you bring Sade. You think it was easy for her to adapt? Oh, wait, but you also had to adapt to her family and her culture because isn't Sade Black American?
Yeah.
So do you think it was easy for her to? I just don't want him to be walking around lost and not knowing what's going on.
find him in Massachusetts if he's gonna know enough Haitians, anyways. They're everywhere. Or Florida, or New York.
Florida. Where all the Haitians
go, yeah.
Where you can find Haitians in plenty.
Everywhere. Yep.
All right, so let's get back to dating. For those that aren't locked down and all that stuff, what advice would you give to a young boy who's maybe in his early 20s and in high school he wasn't out there, he wasn't that guy, but now he wants to talk to the honeys? What advice would you give him if he's not very confident? He doesn't know where to start. He doesn't know where to go, what to do. His friends are probably like, you're a little lame, like don't do it. What advice would you give?
Ooh, that's tough.
Early 20s?
Early 20s and he's trying to get into dating. Has no confidence?
Okay, maybe not. Why do you have to say no confidence? That's what you said.
You didn't have any confidence.
Okay, maybe it's a little low. Maybe not zero, but it's a little low. But he wants to he wants to get married. He wants to settle down. He wants to be Rudy.
That's tough. Giving advice now, I just tell people to be themselves, which is super cliche, but I tell a young man, be yourself and don't be afraid of rejection. You can't be afraid of rejection. That's one thing you can't be afraid of.
What about the embarrassment that comes from it?
Not everybody's gonna like you.
That's true.
Not everybody's gonna like you. So they say shoot your shot. You gotta shoot your shot. Because you never know who's gonna like you or not like you. But you have to have confidence. And women can see confidence. Women can see confidence, and they they'll know when a man's confident talking to them. So that's one thing you gotta learn is just to be confident and not be afraid because you're gonna get rejected.
It's gonna happen,
yep.
But we can see it. We can see whether you're confident or not, and confidence will take you oftentimes further than looks. I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. You could be a 10, but with no confidence, I'm not even looking at. We're not even. What are we talking about? But you could be a 7 or a 6, and if you're confident, you tell me who you are. You're gonna stand there and tell me the man that you are. Confidence will take you so far.
And one piece of advice I'll give these younger cats, because when I be out now, I see these young boys. They don't know how to talk to women, and they don't try to talk to women. My sister-in-law was telling me, she's like, when I go out, guys don't buy me drinks. I'm like, guys, she's like, they don't do that no more. I was like, what? You don't see a girl you like and be like, hey, at the bar, buy her a drink? That's one piece of advice I say. Hey, like, buy her a drink.
Buy her a drink. That starts a conversation. And that is the textbook thing. You see that in every rom-com, every movie, buy her a drink. Buy her a drink, that starts a conversation. Buy her drinks, have no expectations, and just start talking.
I would buy a girl a drink and walk away. That's the best thing to do. I would buy a girl a drink and walk away. Hey, what are you drinking? Hey, what? And then so guess what? She walked by me, she'd be like, hi.
She'll start the conversation.
Or she was interested or thought I was nice. She'll say hi, wave to me, give me a look or something. Yeah. Instead of me trying to sit there and have a conversation with you, might not go anywhere. You be with your friends. You want to go out and socialize. I would just buy a drink and just walk away.
That's actually not a bad idea. Because the linger is what gets awkward. Now I feel like something's indebted to you.
Yep. Absolutely.
And a lot of girls will be like, no to the drink because of that.
Yeah, no to the drink because they're like, I want to talk to you.
I don't want to talk to you. I'll spend my own $20 on the drink just to not talk to you. Yeah. But if you buy me the drink and don't just turn your back and walk away though. Be like, I hope you have a good night. And
no, you say something they'll be like, thank you. And then you're like, all right, thank you. And then that's it.
And then walk away?
Yeah, because if you're really doing it because you want to get to know them, just buy them a drink and then maybe spark up conversation later, try, or. Yeah.
That curiosity would get me.
Yeah, because why did he buy me a drink? What? I'm not cute enough, but he just bought me a drink. Why didn't he talk to me?
Or it's genuine, he really wanted to actually just buy me a drink. I'm going to figure out who that is. Mm-hmm. Look at you giving advice to the young cats.
Dropping jewels.
Dropping gems left and right. Okay, let's talk about marriage.
Yes.
Let's talk about the hop from just dating somebody, not just because dating is big, dating somebody to marrying them. And I specifically want to talk about, because you're married, I specifically want to talk about why you think people will be dating for 10 years and then get married and then divorce. What? I think that maybe they try too much after they're married. They try and be something that they are not, or they try and be something that they don't actually have to be. You can be yourself. But I don't know. What do you think?
When I notice, from what I've seen from the people I know who've been married, gotten divorced, they all changed.
After they got married.
They all changed personally. You know, a lot of people, and I say to a lot of people, when people get married in their 20s, I would not. I'm sorry, I would not recommend that to anybody.
Really?
It's not. Me personally, I wouldn't because I feel like you don't even know who you are. You don't really know who you are. The male brain is not even fully to develop until after 25. So, you know, you can meet somebody at 23 and you're not, and then, you know, be within 5 years, 28, 29, get married. You're not the same person you were when you were 23 from 28. That's a lot of growth you have as a person. So I think that's what happened to a lot of those relationships that, you know, do last 10 years and then they get married and then, you know, it's because people have changed so much.
Which isn't
themselves.
a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. But I think that's what normally happens.
You've just evolved into a different person.
You evolve into a little different person. A lot of people think that they miss out on things because of marriage, and then, you know, they've had kids, and then, you know, they feel like they've missed out on so much, or then, you know, when all that goes away, they, you know, I think some people chase that sometimes too.
Which you don't necessarily miss out on anything.
No.
You can just experience it later. Like, it's still there.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think a lot of people, I don't know, they just feel that way.
Like, it's gone. Like, I can't do this anymore. Just because I didn't club in my early 20s, that means I can't club anymore when I'm 30, but there's literally, like, clubs out there.
Yeah, because all the divorcees I know right now, they hitting the streets. They was hitting the streets this summer. It was out.
It was outside?
Outside in the streets. Yep.
Oh, my gosh. How long have you and Shadi been married again?
7 years.
Divorce ever crossed your mind?
No.
You're in this for the long haul?
Yeah, I'm not. Divorce has never crossed my mind. No.
Never.
It would take a lot for divorce. I'm being serious. It would take a lot for yeah. I don't think we have those. We don't have those issues.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have those problems. You know.
We don't have those problems.
No, we give each other. Of course, we have problems. We have fights. You know, we have arguments. We have discussions, but we don't. I haven't had anything catastrophically, you know, happen to our relationship. I mean, yeah.
To end everything, like, that's the thing.
The hardest thing the toughest strain on our relationship was our son.
Yeah, before there was nothing big before Lennox.
The biggest strain on our relationship was our son, and that took us. That was the toughest time in our relationship when, you know, our son was here.
Yeah, because that's a whole world shift.
Yeah,
everything changes.
Everything just shifted. Everything changed. So that was, and then COVID happened right after that. And so your whole world changed. Then you're on lockdown. Then you gotta see this person every day. When, you know, that was the toughest time.
Homicidal.
Yeah.
I would turn homicidal.
You have a newborn and then it's COVID, and then you're stuck like.
And Shadi didn't get a chance to plan for as long as she wanted to plan for. It's just so many things.
That accidental baby, it was so many things. Yeah, that was tough. But that was the toughest thing. But other than that,
has a friend ever come to you and be like, Rudy, like, I'm considering divorcing my wife, or I'm considering divorcing my husband? Like, what? Like, what do you think, or what?
Yeah,
you've had those conversations.
Yeah, with some people. Yeah.
Is it always an automatic don't do it, or is it like, I'll listen to you and then
I listen? I say, if that's what you want, if you honestly think that's going to make you happy, if that's going to be the piece that you need, then, you know, you go for it. I wouldn't tell somebody to stay in a relationship if they're 100% not happy. Sometimes I think people, they say that when they don't mean it. You know, but I've only had a few, but they're mostly not for marriage, no, just mostly one for marriage. Mostly breaking up with a long-term person, like that stuff. That's different. If you're breaking up with somebody, I'll be like, go ahead and do it.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like, I'll tell you this right now, Cassie. It's so funny, and Shadi gets so mad at me. Anytime somebody brings me something, like one of my friends, a cousin, one of her friends, they're dating somebody new, I tell them, like, not gonna work.
Why?
Because I can read it. I'm like, I just read it. I'm like, not gonna work. She's like, you think? I'm like, not gonna work. Then she'll call me. Yeah, so I'm like, I told you. I was like, I told you.
You have the relationship eye?
I called it, yes. I called it on all her friends. I called it on my cousins. I'm like, not gonna work. Not gonna work.
But do you ever be like, this is gonna work, and it works?
Absolutely, and it works. She'd be like, what do you think about him? I was like, I was like, one of her last friends, it's funny, we're going to her baby shower. At the the end of the month. But she was just like, I don't want to say names. She was just like, oh, actually, she gonna know what I'm talking about. We're going to baby shower at the end of the month. But
this will come out later.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But she was like, oh, so and so has a new boyfriend. Look, what do you think about him? I was like, oh, he's gonna propose soon. I was like, this is gonna be a quick one. I was like, I could already tell. She's like, how do you know? I was like, he's gonna propose soon. I was like, I could just tell by his face.
I could just tell by his face.
I was like, I tell by his face. I was like, I could tell he's really happy. Like the way he was, his vibe with her. I was like, I could already tell. She was like, you sure? I was like, yep. When did they get married? Like a year later? A year later they got married and they're having their kid. Yeah.
Rudy, shut up.
I'm dead serious. I am dead serious. One of her friends. Oh my gosh, this is the horrible one, and I hate to say horrible. Her last friend's relationship. I'm not even gonna get into that hot mess.
I love how you know all the tea.
But her last friend. She was like, oh, she met so and so, met this person, and da 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 da, and he's coming out to see us, and then she's like, oh, really cool. She's like, oh, he bought us all dinner. He bought us all. I was like, let me see his face. I said, I said, that is a fuck nigga if I ever seen a fuck nigga. I said, look at his face. I said, look at his pants, his shirt. I said, he's a dirty dude. I was like, I don't care what you say. I was like, he's a dirty dude. You're going to tell that girl to run. And hot mess.
It was a hot mess?
It's still a hot mess. It's a hot mess.
It's still going hot and messy.
Super hot, super messy. Like, messy. The messiest of the mess. Like, I was like, yep. I was like, and then when stuff started going bad, I was like, what did I tell you?
Not you being the relationship whisperer.
I was like, what did I tell you? And then she was like...
So when I start dating somebody, I want to bring them to you and be like, Rudy, like,
I'll tell him, like, nope. Like, don't do
Isn't
it.
a good one?
Don't do it.
I love that.
Don't do it.
You'll have the eye. You'll have the eye for Lennox. What does it work for women too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it works for.
Yeah, I've told people, she's crazy. Don't mess with her. I'm like, I can tell.
Shut up.
Yo, you think, Cassie? I'm telling the 100% truth. I will know if it's gonna work by just seeing two people together.
Really?
And I'm batting 100.
I'm batting 100.
I mean, batting 1,000. I'm talking about batting 100. I mean, I'm batting 1,000. Sorry, I'm batting 1,000. I'm serious.
Signed, sealed, delivered. You're the relationship whisperer. Well, now some people, you can help the people. I love that. I'll let you when I get my next relationship. Next relationship will be my husband, so I won't need you to tell me, but I'll bring him by just so you can tell me.
I'll tell you if he's a serial killer or not.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. On that note, we're done. We're gonna head out. Thank you, Rudy, so much for being here and talking about relationships today.
Thank you for having me.
Just hopped around and talked about everything, and I love it. Thank you for watching if you watched. Thank you for listening if you listened. You can find Through with a Splash of Tea podcast every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on all streaming platforms as well as YouTube. Rudy's actually going to be back with us doing at least one more episode. Maybe you'll probably see him again in the future. I just feel like you guys like him and we can just talk about anything.
You can't get rid of me.
Pretty much. So thank you again so much, you guys. And on that note, we're headed out. Bye.